Alright, looks like we are live. I just dropped my pencils. Okay, so, well, first introduction. My name is Jerry Gonzalez. I am a freelance comic artist. I do some commissional work. I do some work for Dust Comics. I'm mainly a penciler and inker. I do a lot of my stuff digitally nowadays, but I used to do a lot of traditional artwork. So today was kind of like a day where I just really want to do something a little bit more pencil and paper type of thing. I was kind of just wanting to do a Gambit piece, and I came to attention of, or I was going to do it as a YouTube video, but then I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and do this live, get everybody to kind of see how I do things, see how I struggle with how I draw out a page or draw out an image. So what I did so far was I used my mechanical pencil. It's a H2 lead. I like a good hard lead on a smooth paper, mainly because it's easier for me to erase. There's no extra lines left over, and if I screw up, you know, it's not so much of a tragedy. And I have my kneaded eraser, which is it's kind of like putty here, but you know, stretch it out, and you can erase certain lines here without ruining the image, and it's really good for inking because it's not going to take out too much of the black inks. And then of course I have my white eraser. I exclusively use white erasers for a long time. I don't really like using the pink erasers, the standard erasers that you see on regular pencils that you get in school. Just don't like how they look, or I don't like how they erase. They always seem to smear the page a lot, so I always use a white eraser. And then I have my other mechanical pencil. This is a 0.7 lead. It's an HB lead, so it's your standard pencil lead. So it's something I like to use if I need to tighten up pencils. So, and after this, I'll lay down inks, which I will show you that in a bit after I kind of lay this out. So, but right now, what I did was do a layout on my H2 lead, or 2H lead. Kind of did a layout of this, basically using references off of Google, kind of see, you know, how it looks nowadays, and might do some adjustments on it. But yeah, so I've done the layouts, and now I'm going to do some tightening up on this piece. So there might be moments where I'm just like very quiet, but that's how I usually work. Usually I have music playing in the background, kind of distract me a little bit. That's how I do things here. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and tighten up this bad boy. All right. And I'll jump around on this piece, much like other pieces I've done in the past. I don't like to do one thing and then I don't like to do from, like, you know, top to bottom. When I pencil, it's more of just, you know, what looks good and what doesn't. And yeah, so But my brain kind of works in a weird way when it comes to penciling. I never work in one whole in one fluid movement. It's all just jumping around, see what I need to do first. Usually, if I'm doing a commission piece, especially if it's a traditional style, I'll usually have a piece of paper underneath my drawing hand, because graphite is very messy, especially if you're rubbing your hand around the picture, especially when you're drawing. It'll just, it'll smear the image and it'll just look pretty bad. But since this is kind of my own fun piece to do, doesn't really matter. But right now I'm just kind of putting in the basic lines here. I usually do like a lot of rendering, like a lot of heavy rendering during the inking process. I don't know, it just kind of makes sense for me. I think the most favorite part of drawing any figure is the eyes. Can't explain why, I just really like drawing eyes. Probably something I just developed as a kid. I just really like doing this part. I kind of want to give him a bit of a smirk. There we go. Not too obvious, but subtle. Let me find my other pencil. It's not near me right now. I have to step away real quick. guess we'll use the 4H pencil. Little pencil right here. I don't know if you see that. Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit harder lead than the 2H, but still works the same. Let me kind of clean that one up. There we go. And there's two ways of actually filling out or penciling in full black areas. Is to just do it this way, or put it like that and just does the exact same thing, just a little bit quicker. There we go. Oop. Almost. Oops, that. Oh, hey Crystal, what's up? Hey Jenna, how's it going? Yeah, I'm enjoying my vacation. First day of my vacation, which was yesterday, I actually got some really good sleep, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. Did all my Monday stuff, just clean the apartment, running a few errands. So yeah, I'm kind of just in a mood to actually just kind of draw some fun stuff. Thanks, Crystal. I do my best. I'm not the greatest artist, but I try. Alright. I think that's enough for the penciling part. Alright. I think it's time for inking. Alright. So, since you guys sleep, what the hell is that? Don't worry, once you go on vacation again, you'll be able to get some sleep or hibernate and wake up, next year. All right, so next thing is to ink. So let me give you the rundown of what I'm inking with. I have a few pens. Use Faber-Castell pens. They come in different sizes, medium, fine. I also have small and extra small. Sure. And they all come in, the tips are much different. I don't know if you can see that very well. Nope, it's not going to do it. All right. So use that, and I also use Sumi ink. I like this ink. It lays down really well. It's very dark. Also have this little skull shot glass that I got from work, and I have some water here, which is a skull jar, which once again I got from work. This is years ago, but these are my two favorite things to use whenever I'm inking. And I have several brushes. I have a 6 brush, and I think it's a number 6, could be a number 3. And then I have my flat brush here for the areas around here that I'm going to work on. And then I have my size, I think it's size 8, 10 maybe. They're all synthetic brushes. There's no real preference on why I prefer to synthetic. It's just more of just a being thrifty. Getting Sabler brushes is really, really expensive, and I don't have that kind of money. I gotta pay bills and rent, adult stuff. So here we go. I'm actually going to grab a piece of paper. Oh, by the way, the paper I'm using is regular cardstock paper. You can grab it at any store. I like it. It's smooth paper. I have a very particular preferences on what paper I use, and I just like really smooth paper. Just I can work really fast with that. I'm not I'm not struggling, especially with paper that has a lot of tooth in it. It just doesn't feel right to me. It just doesn't feel natural. So I'm trying to think here. Do I want to lay down the black areas first, or wait? Mom says you're very talented. Well, thank you, Jenna's mom. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and lay down the dark areas first. And with inking, I tend to move this page around a lot, just so that my hands don't smear the ink and just spreads all over here. So it just works easier that way. Hey Jen, what's up? Ooh. I apologize if I'm very quiet throughout this process. Usually I have music playing in the background, which I believe this will be able to be recorded, and I can actually put it on Facebook and maybe on YouTube. So I kind of don't want to I don't want to play any kind of copyright music, especially when I'm posting this up on YouTube, because I don't want to get hit with a copyright claim. So I'm going to be working in silence. That's not more of the fact that me trying to focus. It's just more of I like a little bit of sound playing in the background. When it gets too quiet, it just kind of feels weird, and at that point I just can't really focus on something. Usually I play like some kind of music or play a movie that I've already seen before. And that kind of helps me out. Okay, let me rinse this up. But if any of you guys has any questions, let me know. I'm always willing to answer any kind of questions. Alright, so I guess we'll do... Do you draw animals or landscapes or stuff? Or landscape stuff. I do from time to time. Oh God, I can't remember the last time I drew an animal. I think the last time I did that was probably about a few years ago for a coworker. He wanted me to draw two of his dogs. And it's been a while since I've drawn animals, and was able to do it without any problems. So yeah, but as for landscapes, I've recently got into drawing or painting galaxies in the back or on Photoshop. I just like how with something like that you can kind of just mess around and do anything, because it's nothing's precise. You just kind of it's kind of like a free association on that part. But someday I'll actually kind of get around to sitting down and just painting forests or something like that. I mean, I would love to do that. Just my brain's kind of into really drawing figures, because that's something fun to do for me. But yeah. Make sure I don't mess up my desk with ink. have to constantly reapply ink to the brush because stuff will run out very, very quickly. Yeah, it's my style, but I feel like to be a better artist, you kind of have to go past your comfort zone and try something different. Like, I had a really big fear of drawing cars, but you know, this is like when I was like still in my teens. I was like really, really scared of drawing vehicles because I just couldn't get the proportions right. You know, and my dad used to draw funny cars just for fun, and I wanted to do the same thing he did. So, but I just never could get it right. Well, you know, one day I was like, hey, you know, if you're gonna do comics, especially sequential artwork, you kind of need to learn that stuff. You kind of need to learn how to draw vehicles and just basically everything. You have to draw, you know, even like the simplest, like, you know, drawing a chair. You have to learn how to draw that, or a table. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, hey, you know, do it. You know, either do it or don't do it. So I tried it out, and you know, it was a bit of a struggle, but in the end, I actually did enjoy it. It was, you know, it was a nice learning experience. And, you know, luckily enough, I had, you know, references that I can find online to kind of go back and see what I need to do. You should always believe references are your best friend. Never think that using references is cheating. You know, not everybody can draw, you know, that particular item. Not everybody can draw a fire extinguisher, you know, on in the top of their head. They have to find out, like, you know, what it looks like, and, you know, how the handle's supposed to look, or how it's positioned, you know, that kind of thing. So references are a good thing. I'll go back to the fine details in a bit. I just want to get the main image inked. Night, Jenna. Hope you have a good day at work. Try not to kill anybody. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of a timeout because I want to try to post this bad boy. Let me do this. I'll be with you guys in just one moment. And post. All right. And do one for Twitter. Okay. Should have posted all this stuff up before I started live streaming. Oh, life lesson learned. Effect for using reference on the judges. I totally agree. Yeah, I don't understand why people are very weird about that. You know, it's not really cheating. I mean, unless you're drawing something, you know, line for line, you know, that's one thing. And even that, like, that's a very weird subject because, you know, most artists out there, or at least, you know, people who are drawing comics for a living, you know, they have deadlines to meet. And sometimes they can't think of, like, you know, what pose to use or anything like that. So they kind of have to use references or sometimes, you know, get an understanding of that pose. And I used to do this a lot when I first started out. I would actually find a particular pose and trace the gesture. I wouldn't do it, you know, I wouldn't draw the pose and then, you know, say, oh, this is my artwork. It's more of, you know, drawing the gesture itself and getting an understanding of how it's supposed to look. But yeah, I mean, using references is a good tool and should not be considered a sin. It definitely should be used as something that's, you know, that's helpful to, you know, making good art. Well, if this all goes well, I might have to do more of these live streams. They're kind of fun. Actually, I will use the pens for that one. That's going to be a very tricky thing to do with hair. I'll use a pen on that one too. check on something here. Do not want to smear my finger on the wet ink. Alright. So go ahead and do the eyes here. Looks like I'm almost done with this piece. Yay! Alright. Apply more ink here. Oh, another thing is, if you feel like you've applied too much ink and you want to keep that tip sharp, you can just go back and forth, and there you go. Tip's a little bit more stable. And usually with this process, especially drawing with a brush and ink, like you see there's already ink on there. Usually with like bigger projects, like the whole entire finger here and then back here is all, the finger here and then all here is all like filled with ink. But I consider those quote unquote battle scars, so I am happy with that. Put too much. Okay. All right. Okay. So next up is debating whether or not to use my other pen instead of the mechanical pencil or mechanical pens. Yeah. All right. So I'm using a what's it called? Oh, I'm using, it's not really a quill pen, they're a little bit smaller. This one's a little bit thicker, but the lines are very thin, so I can actually use them for smaller details, especially with the hair too. And I can go back and use the other pens to kind of, juice up some of the lines. So we'll dip some ink here. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the bottom details. I think the longest, the part that is a bit more time consuming is the rendering portion of it, because for me I tend to kind of do things, on the spot when it comes to rendering, so I'll always go back to it and kind of look at it, see what needs to be fixed, what doesn't, and I see. Oh, another thing I do is to make sure that certain areas that I've inked are dried up, I'll kind of lean it towards the light, and if I see a little bit of a shine on the portion that I inked, then I try to leave that part alone because I don't want to smear the page. Let's do that part. Looks like that part's dried up good. I think next stream I'll probably just play some music because it is very, very quiet in here. Almost too quiet. Plus I don't want to have the neighbors think I'm just talking to myself the whole time. Granted, I do whenever I draw. It's just more of kind of want to hear myself talk to make sure I know what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to do the hair. try not to draw too many strands on the hair, otherwise it'll just look really weird and off. You just want to kind of give the illusion that there's a lot of strands on there, but you don't want to overdo it. There's a spot that I forgot to do, which I'll do that in just one moment. Okay. I think we can use the big brush. A little bit of water in there. Okay. Hey Brandon, what's up? Yeah, I don't know. There are other artists that can actually draw hair to like the strands, and and it makes it look really natural. For my art style, I think when I draw strands, it just kind of throws the whole thing off. It doesn't look as great. Apply more ink here. Okay. Now, I can probably throw, do I need to, I'll probably just use the pen then. Okay. So let me clean this little area up. There we go. Alright. I think the next thing will be, okay, time to break out the pens. What pen to use? We'll do medium. Make that part just a little bit darker. Yeah. Make certain areas here a little bit darker. Looks like I'm gonna have to get a new pen. Thing's about to run out of ink. good. Look there. All right, that looks good. Okay. Thicken up some areas here. Do a size small. Okay, before I do that, where's my H2? 2H lead. Clean up some areas here. It looks like I'm almost done here. Just kind of see what needs to tidy up here. Medium. You guys see this part. Give the trench coat somewhere. Make it look like he's had this thing since the 90s. Right. I don't want to overdo it at the same time. Okay, think that's it for the main figure. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this thing with some kneaded eraser. I apologize if the camera starts shaking a bit. I have it like set up on my desk, so that's why you see this image so closely and not, you know, from a distance. Alright. Yep. So you gotta make sure one thing with erasing ink, what I've learned, is to do it in one side. In other words, you try not to go back and forth, because otherwise you end up peeling some of the ink here. So you have to do it like one way, and that's the same way with a white eraser. You don't want to go back and forth on it, but what you want to do is try to kind of just do it in one direction. Put that away. Yeah. See, that's the other thing. You don't want to start from a black area, because otherwise it'll get the kneaded eraser stuck. But we're almost done here. Alright, and I just remembered that I need to grab my whiteout. Just gonna hit some spots here that I still see some pencil lines. Looks like I'm almost there. Alright, it's time for the background. And then I'll do one more once over with this. Throw some white on here to kind of fix any kind of little mistakes. Just there's not that many, so that's a good thing. Sometimes sometimes I'll rush this thing just a little too quickly, and there's like a bunch of mistakes that'll pop up. So there's not many, so it's not a bad situation here. Alright. Now for the last one here. And then I am done. And hopefully you can get this loaded up on YouTube or Facebook, but feel free to comment and let me know what would be a good time for me to do these live streams. This is kind of like a spur of the moment type of thing, but you know, having to do this today and actually having a good time with it, kind of want to know, what would be the best time to, do something like this. Would you want it on a Friday? You want it on a Thursday? A little after 5, where everybody's home from work. just let me know. Shoot me a line in the comments section. And if you want me to draw a particular character, let me know. I mean, can't guarantee you it's going to get drawn, but, you know, a suggestion for the next stream. Ah, that looks awesome. That looks good. There we go. All right. And let me find my whiteout, which is yonder. Oh no. Nope. Huh. Looks like I can't find my whiteout. That is a bummer. Unless I put it. Nope. But I do have another pen that I can use. Alright. That is going to bug me now. Oh, here we go. Yay, got my whiteout. Alright, so I'm gonna grab a piece of paper and make sure. Force the white out. Okay. Clean up some spots here. All right. Let me go ahead and grab me that. Yeah, this part's kind of not the most entertaining part. It's kind of just me doing some cleanup work on here. Just strands just a little bit smaller up here. Yeah. Fill out the dark spots. All right. Okay. I think that is it. All right. Gonna do a scan of this, post it up on my Facebook page. Thank you all for coming and watching this. Those of you who stuck around, thank you very much. Those of you who've been here for just for a few minutes, thank you once again. Share this video, share the page, Art of Jerry at Facebook. And also follow me on Twitter. I'm on as Jerry G. Gonzalez, Gonzales. You can check me out there. I usually post artwork up there too. And that's it. So one last thing, kind of important. Let's do it up here. There. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see more of these streams. And I will catch you guys next time. Later.